الله أكبر الله.
الحمد لله الأكرم الذي خلق الإنسان وكرم وعلمه من البيان ما لم يعلم، فسبحان الذي لا يحصى امتنانه باللسان ولا بالقلم. ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله الذي أوتي جوامع الكلم وقرائم الحكم ومكارم الشيم، صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه نجوم الطريق الأمم. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال سبحانه وتعالى: قد أفلح المؤمنون. All praises for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All praises for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most merciful and the most kind. All praises for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who is the Rabb and the Lord of the entire mankind and the entire universe. All praises for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the master of this very world and the master of the day of Qiyamah. All praises for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the very divinity that we worship, and the very Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in divinity that we ask for help. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to alleviate all the problems of this very world. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to uplift the problems that each and every one of us are going through. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, especially in this difficult time and circumstances that we're living in, and Corona has not left our center in our midst. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure those who are sick and ill. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive each and every one of us. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Salutations and praises upon our Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, our master, our guider, our intercessor of the day of Qiyamah. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep us in His company in Jannah. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Dear respected brothers and elders, honorable mothers and sisters, our khutbah for today is inspired by the very ayah that I have recited before you. A very small verse in the Quran which starts off the 18th chapter of the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Verily, the believers are successful. I'll say it again. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Verily, the believers, they are what? They are successful. And that will be my topic for today. What is success? How can we achieve success? And what can you and I do to keep this success of this world and also ultimately in the hereafter? I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this verse, Allah ta'ala is pretty much giving us a qualification. And that qualification is what? The attribute and the quality of being a believer. And alhamdulillah, each and every one of us over here are what? We have iman in our hearts. Yes or no? Yes. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is already saying that you are qualified. That means you are successful. In today's age, in the world that we live today, honestly, we're living in a very interesting and a very strange time. Especially nowadays, I deal with a lot of youth from high school and especially colleges and universities. Religion is something which is not promoted. Religion is not something which is promoted anymore. Instead, it's the opposite. There's no cause for religion. There's no reason to be any type of religion. We don't need it. Technology has proven that. Social media has proven that. YouTube has proven that. My friend in class has proven that. My roommate has proven me that. So there's no promoting religion anymore. When you look back into history, you will find that each and every religion, the central theme of the religion was what? God. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Hindus believe a certain God. The Jewish community believes so. The Christians believe so. The Muslims believe so. Everything revolving around the family, household, or yourself, it had to do mainly with God and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But nowadays, we're living in a time where technology has advanced, science has advanced. So we're living in a very strange time where religion is not really promoted the same way. You have any problem? Take a loan out from the bank. You have any problem? Go to a psychiatrist. And if you really have a problem, you can go. There's no problem in that. When you have a problem, there's many ways to resolve your problem. Anything but what? But God, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is not going to help you at this time. I mean, look at now, it's coronavirus. Where is Allah right now, right? People ask these type of questions. And as time is going by, it's going to get even more tougher to stay upon this very deen. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ tells us that a time will come that Islam will wear out. Just like the fabric on your cloth. The clothes that you wear, it gets old. So Islam will also get so old, like the fabric just removes and goes away, wears off your clothing that you have. That's what's going to happen with Islam. It's just going to go away. It's just going to be a name. When you ask a person, what is success? Especially nowadays. If I say a decade ago, if I were to ask an elderly person, my father, or any uncle, or any aunt, or any sister, what is success? They will tell me that success is to have a good life here. Or at least a better life than the life that I had back home. That's what success, that's my definition of success. Nowadays, if you ask someone, especially the youth, like my fellow youth, if you ask them, what is success? They'll probably, most likely will tell you, I want to be academically educated, well-established, and I also want a really good job. I want a job. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But the thing about the Quran is that the Quran presents success in a very different way. The Quran tells us, use the materials of this very world to gain success, but do it in the views of Allah and in the way of the Prophet ﷺ. You want to do business? The Prophet ﷺ says that the businessman, the truthful businessman, right? There's honesty in business. One thing is business, and then there's honesty in business. You want to be successful in business, you have to be truthful when it comes to business. The Prophet ﷺ never negated business and said not to do it. The Prophet ﷺ himself was a businessman. But honesty, it goes a long way, and that's what the Prophet ﷺ said. It's just not any businessman, but an honest businessman will be with who on the day of Qiyamah? With the prophets, subhanAllah. That's going to be his grade on the day of Qiyamah. So when you ask a youth, what is success? They'll pretty much tell you that I want to land a really good job, 6 figures, even more than that, and get a promotion. Each and every youth, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us is something more. And then we have the youth who just want to do the bare minimum. That's it. I just want to do enough and that's it. What is enough to them? Just stay at home, go to school, come back, play some games, watch videos, watch some TV shows, and that's it, and repeat again the next day. That's the bare minimum. Allah Ta'ala has blessed each and every one of us with so much more. So much more. With time, with strength, with potential. When you read in history how the Quran was compiled, Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he initiated and he started the compilation of the Quran. We have to make it into a book so that it's not lost. Out of all the people, he had Umar radiallahu anhu in front of him, Ali and Uthman radiallahu ta'ala anhu, great sahabas. But he chose Zayd bin Thabit radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He was in his youth, at the age of 20, 25. And he chose him and he said, you can do this job. Why do you think he chose him? He could have chose greater sahabas. But he chose him and he said that anta shab, that you are young, you are fruitful, you have potential, you can do it. And nowadays, we're looking for time to waste actually. We're literally looking for time to waste. And the bare minimum actually sums up into that. The result of it is just like that. Just wasting time and just wasting our life. I'll just wait until the corona is over. I'm gonna get back on my bicycle again, inshallah, and everything's going to be fine. No, we just had, sadly, we had a 24-year-old janazah yesterday, and another 25-year-old janazah in the first Jumu'ah. So, when are we going to go for that success that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about in the Quran? So the picture of the Quran is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already He has given us the qualification, which is what? Being a believer. We are successful. Just like in any qualified person, if they go to work, they earn that job, they deserve that position because of the qualification, understandable. But the moment that that person stops working, does not finish off projects, does not come in early to work, you think his qualification matters? No, it doesn't matter. Another person will come and replace that person. Someone else will take that job in that position. So similarly, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that we as believers, we are successful, we have to put in the work to be successful. The second thing is, inshallah, we'll mention this, I'll end off here. The second thing is, whenever we do anything, any type of work towards the success in this world and also in the hereafter, we should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His help, in other words, dua. We learned this very beautifully from the story of Musa alayhi salam, where Musa alayhi salam, cutting the long story short, when he's looking for fire to help him and his family go through the path and the road through the forest, Musa alayhi salam sees a fire from a very high place. So when he goes there, and we know the story, then Musa alayhi salam, he meets Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had bigger plans for him. And at that time, Musa alayhi salam is having a conversation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives him what? He talks about the very stick that he has in his hand. And Allah ta'ala tells him that throw it and it becomes a snake. But when you look into the story, you see that Musa alayhi salam, he does not complain to Allah that when Allah ta'ala told me to grab the snake, when Allah ta'ala told me to grab the snake, he doesn't tell Allah that, Ya Allah, I can't do it, but he goes on to do it. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives him more miracles. And thereafter, as soon as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells Musa alayhi salam that you go to Fir'aun and give him what? Da'wah. Okay, call him towards my oneness. Today we think about da'wah in the perspective of, I believe that da'wah should be given to the non-Muslims. Believe it or not, I feel, and I think everyone over here will agree, that da'wah is needed the most in the Muslim communities today. Subhanallah. Right? Yep. Am I right or wrong? Right? We need the da'wah more than non-Muslims, actually. So when Musa alayhi salam is told by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you call Fir'aun towards my oneness, what does Musa alayhi salam do? He said, oh, no, this is going to be a little problematic right now. And what does he do? He recites a very beautiful dua. And that is the point that I want to make in the second point. He says, رَبِّ اشْرَحْ لِي صَدْرِي. What does he say to Allah? He makes a dua to Allah. He doesn't say, I can't do it, but rather he's asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help. The رَبِّ اشْرَحْ لِي صَدْرِي. Ya Allah, open my chest for me. Expand my chest for me. Any doubts, any fear that I have in my heart, take it away from me. وَيَسِّرْ لِي أَمْرِي. Make matters easy for me. Make this task and this job easy for me. Even though Musa alayhi salam was chosen by Allah, there was not any other person that is more qualified than Musa alayhi salam. Allah Ta'ala chose him to do this job. You think Allah Ta'ala doesn't know what he's doing? He was the most qualified person. But yet Musa alayhi salam says, وَيَسِّرْ لِي أَمْرِي. Make matters easy for me, Ya Allah. Make this task easy for me. Make this job easy for me. So we learn things from these great prophets, which are mentioned in the Quran. Let us implement this very dua into our lives. And whenever we define success, don't just define success with the bare minimum. Define success in the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala defines success in the Quran. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me and all of us the tawfiq to act upon whatever has been said. Wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. الحمد لله نستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور انفسنا ومن سيئات اعمالنا، من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، ونشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد ان سيدنا مولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله ارسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين الساعه من يطع الله ورسوله فقد رشد، ومن يعص الله ورسوله فانه لا يضر الا نفسه ولا يضر الله شيئا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين، اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين، اللهم انصر المسلمين في كل مكان، اللهم انصر المسلمين في كل مكان. اللهم ربنا تقبل منا صلاتنا وقيامنا وركوعنا وسجودنا وتلاوة القرآن يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون، وسلام على المرسلين، والحمد لله رب العالمين، وأقم الصلاة.